All right, and welcome back for a different video. I have hit 500 subscribers. It actually feels unbelievable. I just thought for getting 500 subscribers, I asked my subscribers, all 500 of them, holy shit. It's not much, but it feels good. Just for some questions, I asked them to ask me some questions, anything at all. Over the span of a month, I asked here and there for some questions, and I received some. Just thought I'd answer them. Now, some of them are kind of weird. And I feel like it's partly my fault because I'd ask multiple times and then people who have already answered questions were like, fine, here you go, here's more. And it was just random questions. So these first set is all from Potts. He's popped in and out of my comments here and there, giving me advice, giving me recommendations. His first question is, what would you do with a Klondike bar? I don't know how the tone goes in the commercial because I don't watch TV with commercials. And I don't even know if we have them here. I'm Canadian, so I don't even know if we have Klondike bar commercials. But I know it goes, what would you do with a Klondike bar? What would you do with a Klondike bar? Something like that. I don't know. What would I do with it? What is a Klondike bar? It is like ice cream encased in chocolate, right? Let me look it up. Yeah. To be honest, they look quite basic. I would hopefully want to get the one that looks like it's covered in almonds or something, but I would eat it. He then asked, what's my favorite shade of green? Not lime green. I'll put it up on screen, but like a good darker neon, I guess. I don't even know what you'd call it, but yeah. Then he asks me if you could implement a system that would make the world function better, what would that system be? How would you go about trying to integrate it into society? First off, I'm gonna skip over that second part. There's no way I'm gonna integrate anything into society except for my voice and opinions on movies. I don't know. What would I implement? The basic income. I feel like we are so far in society with things that I feel like people could just get $500 a month just for living, being a human being, you know? Basic income. I feel like that would just make sense. Then he asks, what would you make if you could make a PB&J with alternatives? What would you use? Such as marshmallows and blueberry preserves. I mean, marshmallows honestly sounds like a good one, but I feel like Nutella would be my go-to. And I wouldn't have it like an extra spread. I feel like I'd have a line of peanut butter and then an inner, like it would be like a layer of peanut butter and then just like a center of Nutella. That would be good. Or like hazelnut spread in general. But there was also the cinnamon spread that we used to get that was really good on toast. So I feel like that would also be pretty good. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty much just like a cinnamon spice spread. It's really good. Then he asks, I think I cut out part of this because he says, I know you're, he doesn't say this part, but I'm pretty sure it said, I know you're Canadian. And then he says, have you been to Regina or Wasaga Beach? I hear those are places to visit. I've not been to either of those. I don't think I've ever heard of Wasaga Beach, honestly. Regina, that's a place, I know that, but I've never heard of Wasaga Beach. I really want to go to Banff. All the pictures I've seen of Banff in Canada, gorgeous. When was the last time you washed behind your ears? Good question, actually. I got my ear pierced when I was 8, and it used to build up with cartilage. I don't know why, because I stopped wearing an earring, but I would still put one in and out to make sure, like, once in a while to see, like, if it would still fit. But cartilage built up. And ever since then, I would clean my ears quite often. So I feel like the last time I cleaned my ears, the back of my ears, that's specifically what he's saying, wash the back of your ears. Honestly, probably like a month ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. I don't do it every single time I'm showering, but quite often when I shower, I'll put some soap up there. Do you prefer hemp or plastic? Hemp. I mean, it depends on the plastic. If it's biodegradable plastic, which I guess is hemp too, they would both be valid. Like, I'm not going to knock on biodegradable plastic, honestly. But overall, hemp, I think, is better. Would you rather live in the woods, a big city, or the countryside? So, I've lived in both, I wouldn't say the woods, but in like a very rural city. And then I've also lived like on the countryside where there's like more people, but still, that's kind of where I live now, more on the countryside. And then I've also lived in like, not a huge city, but a city. I think countryside's the way to go, honestly. Because, like, you get the amenities that you need, you know? There could be a Costco down the road. There could be a good old Walmart, Supermart, whatever down the road, a Walmart. But then you also get that family and, like, community business in a way, and that feeling of community, I guess. And just overall quiet. I used to live by train tracks, and that fucking sucked. Yeah, those are all the questions from Potts. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate all those questions. And I gotta say thank you, Potts, for being a subscriber and just contributing in general. You're one of the people. There's a handful of people I recognize names when I see them in my comments. You're one of them for sure. So Potts, thank you very much. Very much appreciate your Jordange Vision. This is another person who I've seen in my comments. I recognize your logo, your picture, anywhere. I recognize you. And he asked me, what is some of your favorite music and what are your favorite music artists? So this is always changing. When it comes to like my favorite movies, I always default. And now let me preface, favorite is my favorite. And just because it's not really a great movie or anything, it means something to me kind of thing. That doesn't mean much, right? But I always find it funny when people are like, oh, that's your favorite movie or whatever it is, like even TV shows. It's like, well, yeah, I just enjoy it. One of my favorite movies that always comes to mind, Forrest Gump. Love that movie. Great movie. Interstellar. I mean, a lot of Christopher Nolan. I think there's a question on here, who's your favorite director? And my mind goes to Christopher Nolan. I just think he makes great conceptual movies. But favorite movies? Yeah, Forrest Gump. I suck at thinking. Ooh, The Iron Giant. That's a phenomenal one. All the Child's Play movies, those are fantastic. Saw 1 is fantastic. Nightmare on Elm Street, specifically the third one. That one I love. That's one of my favorite movies. More specifically in the horror genre, but that's one of my favorite movies. There's Home Alone and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Those are also fantastic movies that I love. I never like to be like, oh, this is my number 1, this is my number 2, this is my number 3, because it would move, it always changes, it's never the same. And then like an extension on that, some of my favorite shows are Avatar: The Last Airbender, Doctor Who, Sense8, Dark, Breaking Bad, of course, Better Call Saul, and then who are your favorite musical artists? So currently, I will say it's Killer Mike. He's probably up there. But I also have a wide range of music. I think rap is like my main genre, but I could listen to everything. Talking Heads is one of my favorite bands. Jid, he's wonderful. NF. I used to really love NF. Haven't really listened to him lately, honestly. Let me see who my last few listened were. Glass Animals, they're wonderful. Flatbush Zombies, and can never forget Lil Wayne. Very wonderful rapper. And yeah, that was really one question that I extended into 3 from Jordange Vision. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I am. But again, another person who I see pop up in my comments all the time. Very much appreciate your contribution and just making remarks and comments. So thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. Now, next one is DA Rules. I've seen you in my comments a few times, and he asks 2 good questions. What made you get into doing YouTube? So I think it was 2022. I'm 26 now, so it was when I was 22, right when I was about to turn 23. I developed like a strong case of epilepsy and was in and out of the hospital, so I couldn't work anymore, and I was pretty much put on work leave, so I couldn't work. And it just kept happening. Every 4 months, 5 months, I'd have a seizure. And they weren't just, oh, he had a seizure. It was like I was in the hospital every single time I was put in the hospital. Shout out Canada for free healthcare. The only things I've had to pay for were the ambulance rides there. And even then, they're only fucking $80. So, whatever. And I think I get to reimburse them on my taxes. Whatever. Anyways, every few months, and after like 9 months or whatever, after like 9 months and 4 seizures in and out of the hospital, I moved back in with my mom and then had nothing to do. I moved away from my friends. I moved away from my work. I couldn't really work. And I just spent all my days like inside doing nothing. And it got really boring and repetitive and melted my brain just doing nothing. And after like a year and a half or so of doing nothing, I just decided, why not start making videos? Had nothing to do. I like movies and TV shows, so I thought, why not just watch movies, right? I very much enjoy watching like pretty much it, so thought, why not? I got nothing better to do. I'm in and out of the hospital, so I might as well make videos on my free time. So that's what I did, and I just started making videos, but used the last bit of my money to buy a mic and a webcam, and sat down and hit record. And now we're here 2.5, 3 years later, or whatever it is. I don't even know. Still not allowed to work because I'm still having seizures in and out of the hospital. If you even just follow me on Patreon, I can't remember if I posted it in my community tab on YouTube, but I know I posted on my Patreon where in February I was in a coma for 9 days on life support, and that obviously is fucked up. And that's not the first time. It's the longest time it's happened. I've been in a small coma for like 1 or 2 days, but never 9 days, and never been intubated like that. So I got a breathing tube and everything. So rephrase your question. Again, you asked what made you start doing YouTube. A medical condition that is uncontrollable right now, and I can't work. So gotta make videos to not go insane. Next, you asked, who do you think is your favorite director, if not your top 3 to 5? Again, I don't like ranking 1 to 3, 1 to 5 or whatever. So right off the cuff, my first mind goes to Bong Joon-ho, Wes Anderson, and Christopher Nolan. Those are like my 3. Whenever they announce and release a video, I'm really hyped to go see those. And that is all from DA Rules, another person who I've seen in my comments multiple times. Jamarian / SeeMeYeaILikeIt. You are a Patreon, and he's asked a bunch of questions. All of them are like kind of like quick one answers. So first, what was the happiest moment in your life? Probably going to like Disney World when I was like 11, because the world was so simple back then, you know? It's not that life's been on a downtrend since then. It's just, I didn't know better then. So there was only happiness. There was no stress to outweigh it. Next was, what was your worst nightmare? I had this reoccurring nightmare where my grandma's old apartment was burning down, and these people who were like in all white spiral outfits with spirally faces were running down the hallway. They weren't actually running. It was more like skipping and dancing down the hallway while it was engulfed in flames. And me and my sister were locked in my grandma's house while it was burning, and we went to escape from the bedroom, and we opened the bedroom, and a horde of spiders that were like 3 feet big just attacked us. I had that reoccurring dream from when I was like 6 to like 12. I haven't had it since, and I've tried to, because it would be interesting to see my reoccurring nightmare again as an adult, you know? What's your favorite color? This purple. That's why I wear this hat, honestly. I have other hats, but it's why I wear this hat. I don't even watch the Lakers. I don't even watch sports. I just like this color. How many hoodies do you own? About 6 or 7. Can I have a hoodie? No. Where can I get one of those hoodies? So this one I specifically got from Omniwear, but the website, they don't exist anymore. I love this hoodie because it's like perfectly all around printed. The way that I mainly found my hoodies is I would just Google 3D full print or 3D all round print hoodies, and then just find like a design I liked, or like I would put in like 3D. For some reason, it has to specifically be like 3D all round. That's the main point. But like 3D all round space print or something, right? Like that's how you kind of find them. And then just kind of put in whatever design you recommend or like you like, right? What's your favorite animal and why? Koalas and or sloths. They are just, I don't know. It seems kind of cliche because I'm a stoner, but they were my favorite animals before I started smoking weed. So I don't know. They're just really cute and cool, and they're just chill, and I don't know. I'd love to carry one. Have like a sloth hang off my arm. I don't know. Do you want to travel and where? The only place I really have left on my travel bucket list is England. And that's because that's where my mom and grandma are from. And I'd love to go see where they're from, you know? But also I'd love to go anywhere, right? I've been to Rome. I've been quite a bit around Italy. It was my graduation gift. But I'd love to go to like Greece. I'd love to see Athens. I'd love to go to like Japan. Would be really cool to see. Asia in general, right? It would be a culture shock, and that's what I think would be cool. I've gone to like Mexico. I've gone to Cuba. I've gone to multiple places in America. Like I've been to California, Florida, Vegas. What's your favorite song? Currently, it is Motherless by Killer Mike. Maybe I'd Like to Change the World by 10 Years After. Great song. What's your favorite song in a musical and why? Boho Days and Tick Tick Boom. That's just the first one that came to mind. It's just feels good, feels easy, and like a fun song. But thinking about it, it would probably be Grease Lightning or the finale song, the final song in Grease. I fucking love Grease. Grease is my favorite musical. I fuck with that shit hard. And why? I don't know why. Grease Lightning just slaps. Go Grease Lightning. I don't know the words. I should watch more music. Actually, wait. No. Wait. I forgot about this song. I forgot about this song. Little Mary Sunshine from Reefer Madness. I fucking forgot about that song till just now. I think, and I could be wrong, please correct me, I think Jamarian is the one that actually recommended this to me. It's just a great song. It's pretty much this, if you haven't, this is why. It is just a great song of a guy trying to manipulate a girl into getting her to smoke weed so he can take advantage of her, right? But she takes it, and then the tables completely turn, and now she's the one in power, and he's being like, holy fuck, what's going on? I fucking love the line of tie me up with phone cords, play with whips and nipple clips and candle wax. It's so good. Yeah, so that's actually my favorite one. That is, I don't normally do this, as I've mentioned multiple times. Boom, that's number one. That is number one. Have you ever been to Disneyland or any other theme park? I've been to Disneyland, Disney World, and both Universals that are around there, and then the P&E, which if you're from Vancouver, or I don't know how famous it is honestly, but it's Playland in Vancouver, Canada. What's the last time you went to a concert? Now, this has two answers. The last concert I paid for and went to was an NF concert about 5 years ago. It was good. And then the last concert specifically in the time was, there's this lake around my house that me and my mom go and walk to occasionally. And there was a symphony just going on there. So we just sat and chilled and watched the symphony for a little bit. They played Pirates of the Caribbean theme song. It was really cool. Do you have an opinion on religion? I'm skipping that question. In short, you do you and what makes you happy. How Canadian are you? I don't hear my accent. People say they can hear my accent. My friend Dylan, who lives in California, he roasts me for the way I say sorry and boat. And I can't hear it in boat, but I can hear it in sorry. And poutine is fucking amazing. If people don't like poutine, you're actually fucking slacking. Jamarian Carver still is asking questions, by the way. He says, am I your favorite Patreon? Is this enough questions? I could tell at this point he was getting fed up with me asking questions. I'm gonna say, yes, you're my favorite Patreon. And that's solely on the fact that you engage the most. You will comment and like my stuff. I do have other patrons, but you're the only one that actually leaves comments and likes for the most part. There was, that one comment back in February when I made that giant post about, hey, I've been gone for this long because I was in a coma, and all my patrons made comments like, I hope you're doing good, take your time, whatever. But yeah, you don't have to stick around though. Recommend me a bunch of shit. If you could play a part in any movie, what would it be? I don't know specifically a character, but a position in a movie. I'd want to be a reoccurring character, someone who's not a main but shows up every few episodes, or every couple episodes for a full episode, or every episode for a few minutes kind of thing. That would be good. Or a good voice acting role. I don't think I could do it, honestly. I don't know if I'd be an actor, right? I don't know if I could be an actor. I've only ever been in one play and I was 7. So that was all the questions from Jamarian. Thank you very much for, honestly, thank you the most, because you are a Patreon and you comment on a lot. You don't have to be a Patreon, by the way, if I'm not posting stuff that you are not watching or you don't want to watch, right? You can leave and come back. I have people who follow, unfollow, people who just pay for the month and instantly cancel just so that they can watch for a few movies, and that's completely fine. Just go and follow everyone so you can see what I'm posting. Next is Rapid Prince. They ask, would you ever think about reacting to an anime like, I don't know if this was pronounced Ruby or RWBY. I'm going to say Ruby. Would you ever react to an anime like Ruby? Yes, I would. I actually had this conversation with Jamarian about the best way to do an anime on my Patreon. I did half a season of as a show. And that was more so because I got back into the hospital and I just kind of lost motive to do it, to be honest. But yes, I would. And I figured out the way that I would do it is just in English. I know you didn't ask this, but the way that I would do it is in English. I would do English dubs with subtitles because I feel like it would, and I tested this on Patreon, it would be very difficult it is difficult to follow along with what's going on while it's in a foreign language and I'm having to read subtitles while I'm also commentating and reacting. So, short answer, yes, I would. So thank you, Rapid Prince. Wonderful question. Gerber asked me, are you against or for the clubbing of baby seals? Against. Very much against, honestly. We need seals unless you're talking about Navy SEALs and going clubbing with them. I'd probably go clubbing with a brand new recruit baby seal. That would be kind of cool. Tai says, what are your top 3 favorite movies or movies that impacted you? So I'm going to put movies that impacted me, and I'm going to expand that from movies to shows. So what's your favorite? What I'm going to say, what are your top 3 favorite movies or shows that impacted you? So for movies, it would be Whiplash. I don't know how to explain it. That movie had no real conclusion in a sense. It was the first time that I feel like I was conscious and old enough to understand when something was artistic and very well directed and just very well acted, and there was something more than just needing a good and bad villain with a clear-cut story. It was okay to have an open-ended story with a broad range of characters, whether this person's good or whether this person's bad. I mean, in Whiplash, there is a clear-cut bad person, but it made me realize that stories don't need to. Another one would be a show that impacted me a lot was Sense8. That impacted me on a human level. I don't even know how to fully explain it. That movie was so, I mean, you could call it pretentious, but it was so open to everything. It talked about everything from religion to sex to gender to politics and different races, just everything. And it delved into them in such a way, and I don't know, it really defined what it means to be human in a sense, rather than what it means to be a person. I don't know. And it's a show that I recommend to every person ever because it just has something about it that I think speaks on a holy level of connection between humans, how to treat others, how we should treat others, how others are, and it literally asks the question what it means to be human, what it means, what does love truly mean, what is love? And yeah, that show just made me think about life in such a way. I don't know. And finally, I would say Forrest Gump. That was the first movie that made me be like, hey, I like watching movies to not escape, but to see another world, right? Understand another world. And on top of that, I would also put Interstellar, because that's another one where it's like, wow, you can do so much with so conceptual and so out there compared to just a grounded story of someone doing something. Like Whiplash. Whiplash is great because it's just a grounded story of someone learning to drum. Interstellar is great because it's ungrounded in a sense, and it's so high concept. Not extreme high concept, but it's got a great concept to it, right? Yeah, those are the questions. I've been recording for 45 minutes, and I thought this was going to take 10 minutes. So once again, thank you so much, honestly, for being subscribers. Having 500 of them is fucking amazing, and it makes me feel good, you know? It's honestly not much. I think of that meme. It ain't much, but it's honest work, right? It ain't much. I do this for the fun of it and just for doing it. I never would have expected to be here, even getting 500 subscribers. Yeah, let's shoot for 1,000. Let's do it. But yeah, thank you all. As you know, I've been a guy named Chase. I enjoy movies and TV shows, pretty much everything film related, and I suck at outros. So, goodbye. Have a good day.